Are you spending hours in the pool but still not getting any faster? Maybe you've been following overrated tips or missing out on the underrated ones. So stick with me. I'm going to go through a few of them, and honestly, some of these will surprise you. By the way, I'm Yann Busset with 30 years in triathlon, first as an athlete, now as a coach. I've helped hundreds to cut through the noise, focus on what actually works, making sure you show up on race day with no regrets. Alright guys, let's dive in with the first element that I found overrated in swimming. These are swim drills. They can look fancy on a training program, but they are kind of useless if they are not prescribed with a specific purpose in mind.
What's your purpose?
What I mean by this is that each swim drill should assess a specific weakness, a specific thing to improve in your swimming technique. And if it's just to do swim drill to copy your training buddy, or if your coach gives you swim drills without an explanation on what the swim drill is about, then it's kind of useless. Because if you want to improve your technique, you need purpose, you need specificity, right? So next time you see swim drill in your program, ask yourself, what are these for? Putting propulsion first. What I mean by this is when you start your swim journey, if your sole focus is just doing laps back and forth the whole time without putting any effort on your technique, then you just lose your time. You're taking the problem backward. Before focusing on going forward, you need to focus your overall body balance and your breathing. In swimming, there are three main pillars that bring together, build a strong technique. The first one is breathing. The second is body balance, or if you want, your position in the water. And the third one is propulsion. But there's an order into this. You need first to learn how to breathe correctly, to be okay with the water. Then after that, you need to find the right balance and feel that you are streamlined and horizontal. Then when these pieces of the puzzles are together, then you can put the third one, the propulsion, in the picture. If you just go back and forth with the poor technique, it's gonna be hard to undo what's have been done for long, and you're gonna waste a lot of energy. So first thing first, breathing first, position after, balance, and then we think about going forward. All right, guys? The pool boy, triathlete best friend. If your football could talk, the pool boy and the triathlete, it's a love story. Sometimes it's one way to recognize a triathlete at the pool is by the amount of gears there is on the side of the pool. I know some of my athletes would love to live with their pool boy 24/7. Maybe we should kind of do a transplant. Joke aside, I prescribe a lot of pool boy. It's a great tool, especially to simulate open water and wetsuit swim. But what I mean by pool boy is overrated is that if you want to improve your swim in the long term, it will be really useful for you to be able to swim without and not using as kind of artificial kickstand. You need to learn how to kick properly. You need to learn to have a proper position without the pool boy. Of course, if you don't have much time to train at all, and if for you the triathlon is a short-term thing, a bucket list thing, 6 months and out, you can put the pool boy then, sure. But if you are there for the long game, and if you want to improve your swim, you really need to learn to swim without. Breathing is overrated. Okay, I'm not asking you to hold your breath for the entire race. No, what I mean is a common struggle for beginners is to be able to swim long without being out of breath. And the problem is you take too much air. You solely focus on breathing in and forget to breathe out correctly. Don't overemphasize the intake. Really focus on breathing out strongly underwater. Because When I'm on the dry land, I exhale without effort. But when my face is underwater, there's the pressure of water. You need to really force the exhaling. You need to do bubbles actively. And if you don't do that, you just take a lot of air and never breathe out correctly. And it's kind of the same feel. After a certain distance, you will feel out of breath, and it's the other way around. You have too much air. So, guys, breathe out. No worries. When you will turn the head, open your mouth, the air will come almost automatically. Like when you press a sponge, you open the hand and the air suck in automatically. Will be the same with your breathing. Next, smartwatches at the pool. Don't take me wrong, huh? I wear one 24/7, and of course I ask my athletes to have one and to track their session. You know how we say, you can't improve something that you don't track. No, what I mean is that don't be that guy that stop swimming, gliding for 3 meters just to make sure you push the button at the exact moment your finger will touch the wall. It's okay, guy. You can just touch the wall first and then pause. Okay, you're gonna lose like 1 second. That's not a big drama. But if you stop swimming for 3 meters at the end of each interval, it's gonna be like many thousands of meters a year that is gonna boom, vanish. All right, don't make so that the watch take the intent, take you away from focusing on the technique. And hey, crazy idea, crazy concept between you and me. If you forget your smartwatch home, well, you know what we say, if it's not on Strava, it never happened. But you know what? It did happen. You did do your session, right? It's okay to update manually your training peaks. It's fine. Focus on what's important, all right? Use them 100%, but don't spend 5 minutes to like play with it before the session just to find the right setting. Practice at home, and when you are at the pool, be at the pool and actually swim. Now let's have a look to the underrated elements in your swim training. And let's start with the swimming volume. Because swimming is the discipline that athletes spend the least time in the race, they tend to neglect the swim. But what you have to remember is that triathlon starts with swimming. And if you let a lot of energy in the swim battle, well, this energy, you won't have it at the end of your run. Your aim is not just to survive the swim. Your aim is to be fresh at T1. Also, if you improve your swim, you will have a better race dynamic because you will start the bike with better athletes around you. And the last thing that should make you rethink your swimming volume is the cross benefit across all the discipline in triathlon that swimming brings, like core strength and respiratory capacity. We talked about the pull buoy being overrated. Now let's talk about the kicks being underrated. If the technique is done correctly, you shouldn't need so much kicks to move yourself forward. And we know as well that you need to spare your legs for the bike and the run. So idealistically, you would need to tend for a 2-beat kick with a strong arm pull. That will be the smart way to do it. But still, you need your kicks to be efficient because you won't avoid kicking in the start, changing direction at the buoy and changing momentum. You will need to kick again. And if your kicks are not strong enough, if you don't train these kicks at training, you will lose a lot of energy because your leg muscles, your quads are big muscles and they consume a lot of oxygen. You need to train those in training so the few kicks you do in competition will be effective. One underrated piece of gear in triathlon is the wetsuit. We often spend first in our super shiny carbon rides and chasing all the marginal gain we can purchase. But a good quality wetsuit will transform your open water experience. If it's high hand and supple and stretchy, you're gonna swim effortlessly, super comfy, without losing any energy. And if the swim is more enjoyable, it's more likely that you will be consistent with swimming. So you will do progress as well with your swim, and you won't lose energy as well battling with a stiff wetsuit. Please make yourself a favor and get a good quality wetsuit. It will make a world of difference and you will thank me later. Let's talk about the rest between intervals. As triathletes, you train mostly for long distance swimming, and of course endurance tempo intervals are the bread and butter for you with short rest. They tend to go too fast when it's supposed to be slow and too slow when it's supposed to be fast. If you feel especially that your swim speed hit a plateau, maybe what you could try to do and implement in your training are shorter distance sprint interval with a long recovery that will allow you to go full gas, full speed, recruiting fast twitch muscles so that you can go all out without thinking of tomorrow. And for that, you need a long rest. Try that sometime. Do some 25-50s with 2-3 minutes recovery. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy and counterintuitive. That could really make a difference to boost your speed. Flip turns are totally underrated. I know you think you don't have time to learn those. You have tried a couple of times, you drank 10 liters of water and that's not for you. But listen, if you take time to learn properly the flip turns, it will transform your swim training for multiple reasons. First, it will make so that your interval will be more seamless and you won't have a long pause when doing your turns. Which means if your intervals are more seamless, it's more like open water or long swims. And not to mention, let's be honest, that flip turn looks super cool. So if you want to increase your swim pool street cred and swim with the cool guys in the fast lane,
I'm kind of a big deal.
Learning the flip turn, it's a must. And I get it, it's hard at the beginning. It's hard to get the right timing. Are you pushing too deep, too much at the surface? Are you missing the push against the wall? I get it. It's going to be hard at the beginning, no doubt. But do it over and over and you will find your marks and you will do it like a pro. This is not the full story. You know, the truth is, all these tips I've shared today, they are just part of the story. I'm sure you have your own thoughts on what's overrated or underrated for you. Stop for a second and ask yourself, why you do what you do in training. It is because it feels right for you? Or is it because you saw someone else do it? Maybe a pro athlete, maybe someone on YouTube, maybe even me in this video. And listen, I get it. We've all been there. We scroll, we watch, we try to learn. And we end up copying what looks good. And sometimes that works, absolutely, but not always. You need to connect the dots between your goals and your training choices. Honestly, that's the beauty of our sport. It's the best possible excuse to build the life you want. That's why I love it. It's not just about going faster, it's about hacking your lifestyle. I'm here to help you using these sports to build a better version of yourself, to explore new places, to find new limits, and to experience this.